Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Harrison County High School basketball. I'm Jim Swinford coming to you from Monticello Heights Gymnasium, where tonight the Thoroughbreds will take on the Bourbon County Colonels in the fourth and final game of this year's Huck Turner Classic. All three of the previous games have been close ones, including the most recent one, the third game of the day, which had Shelby County defeating Holmes 74-71. That was a very exciting game. Midway through the third quarter of that ball game, Shelby County led by 30 points. That's right, 30 points. But then the Bulldogs went on a furious comeback, got the deficit back down to a single point with Shelby County being fouled. The Shelby County kid made both free throws, making it a three-point game with 6 seconds left. And Holmes was able to get the ball down the floor into the hands of their best shooter, who cranked one up from three-point range for the tie. The ball, unfortunately for them, hit off the front of the rim. It was that close and goes off. So despite a nearly 30-point comeback, Holmes still loses the game, but still a very exciting game, and the game just completed before Harrison County and Bourbon County, which is our final game of the day, as we said before. Both those teams will be trying to get back on the winning track. Harrison County lost on the road to Clark County and Henry Clay this week, while Bourbon County fell to Whitford County at home in its most recent game last Saturday. Harrison County will be a player short tonight, however, as Clay Carpenter, their fine senior guard, who is the second leading scorer on the team, tweaked an ankle in last night's game against Henry Clay. He's going to be fine, but he will have to miss tonight's game because that ankle is not ready yet to go. He'll be back here in about 10 days when the Thoroughbreds head to Henry County for the Henry County Invitational. Meanwhile, Bourbon County is having their own personnel problems as they have 4 players out tonight, including 3 starters who just happen to be their top 3 scorers. Those Bourbon County Colonels not playing tonight are out because of illnesses, not COVID, just regular flu-like symptoms, and that is why they are unable to play tonight. So, both teams playing shorthanded. We'll see how things go. We're going to have a really nice crowd for tonight's game. Of course, this is a rivalry game between the Colonels and the Thoroughbreds. Bourbon County's brought over quite a few people, and of course Harrison County has as well, so should be a great atmosphere here at the Huck Turner Classic. Right now, both teams are on the floor going through their pregame warm-ups. We invite you to stay tuned as we'll come back and take a closer look at both Harrison County and Bourbon County. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WC1. Alrighty, back here on the hilltop. Harrison County and Bourbon County about to tip off in about 9.5 minutes. Well, Bourbon County 1-4 on the year. They suffered losses on the road at Knox Central, Bracken County, and Mason County to start the season before a 60-57 win at home over crosstown rival Paris. At the Mingay Beef Jerky Shootout last Saturday at Bourbon County, the Colonels were outlasted by Whitford County 86-70. The Colonels are trying to rebuild their team after losing 3 starters and their top 3 scorers off of last year's team that finished 4-16. They are led in scoring this year by junior guard DeJohn Blunt, who's averaging nearly 15 points a game. He had a career best 22 in a loss at Bracken County in the second game of the season. He's a transfer from Henry Clay High School, but is out with a sickness tonight. Another transfer from Paris High School, junior guard Cortavion Smith is Bourbon County's best shooter, making 51% of his field goal attempts. He is here tonight to play. As a team, Bourbon is a very good three-point shooting squad, making 41% of their three-point shots. With so many new players on the team, the Colonels are having a hard time getting everybody on the same page. Meanwhile, the Breds bounced back from Tuesday's loss at Clark County with a solid effort in last night's loss at Henry Clay, 55-43. The players showed more effort and played smarter and gave one of the top teams in Lexington a run for their money. Although Harrison County trailed most of the game, they could not overcome a 15-2 run by the Blue Devils midway through the first half. Harrison County fell behind by as many as 14 points, but kept on fighting, eventually losing by 12 points. A win here today over their arch rivals would provide a big boost going into a 10-day break. Well, both teams have returned to their locker rooms. We'll take it back to the station real quick and then come back and give you the starting lineups of tonight's game between Harrison County and Bourbon County. You're listening to the Cynthia and Hardy's pregame show on WC. Alrighty, back here on the hilltop. Let's take a look now at the starting lineups. First for Bourbon County, 1-4 on the year, coached by Lamont Campbell. At a guard, a 6-foot junior, number 00, Cortavion Smith. He's averaging 9 points a game. And another guard is a 5'7 junior, Miles Ezell. Ezell wears the number 1. He's a 5'7 junior, averaging 4.2 points a contest. At a forward position is Kane Flynn. Flynn wears the number 23. He's a 6-foot junior, averaging 4.6 points a contest. Another forward is David Green. Green is a 6-foot senior who wears the number 11. He's averaging 3.2 points a contest. And at the other forward, a 6-foot freshman, number 21, Caden Highlander. Highlander averaging 3.2. So once again for the Colonels, they'll be Smith, Ezell, Flynn, Green, and Highlander. Bourbon County on the year, averaging 64.4 points per game on defense, giving up a rather lofty 78.8 points a contest. Now for the Harrison County Thoroughbreds, 3-4 on the year. At a guard, a 6-foot sophomore, number 1, Caden Custard. Custard, Harrison County's leading scorer at 15.4 points per game. And another guard getting his first varsity start, Mason Smiley. Smiley, a 6-foot sophomore, wears the number 3. He's averaging 0.9 points a game. At one of the forward positions is Braylon Hinton. Hinton wears the number 5. He's a 6'3 sophomore, averaging 7.4. At the other forward, number 21, J.D. Kendall. Kendall's a 6'5 junior and is now averaging 6.9 points a game. And in the middle, a 6'10" sophomore, number 44, Will Furnish. Furnish averaging 4.9 points a game. So once again, for the Thoroughbreds, it'll be Custard, Smiley, Hinton, Kendall, and Furnish. Offensively, the Thoroughbreds averaging 56.1 points per game. Defensively, giving up 60.7 points per contest. So there are your starting fives for tonight's ball game. Well, while we have this opportunity, let's send it back to the station to Bruce Templeton from Unity Christian Church with tonight's pregame prayer. Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop, Harrison County and Bourbon County about to face each other for the 127 times since they first played back in November of 1959. Harrison County leads the all-time series 76-50. However, Bourbon County has won the last 5 in a row dating back to December of 2017. Here on the Hilltop, Harrison County's done pretty well against the Colonels, going 38-20. The last time that the two teams got together was back a couple of years ago here on the Hilltop, a game that Bourbon County won 86-66. As we said, the series began back in 1959 with a Harrison County 71-30 win over the Colonels several years ago. So there's your history of this rivalry between the two clubs. Well, after tonight's game, the Thoroughbreds will take a rather lengthy time off before getting back on the court at the Henry County Invitational Tournament. That's in about 10 days. Harrison County will open up that tournament a week from Tuesday against Louisville Iroquois, who going into tonight's action is 6-1. So right off the bat, the Thoroughbreds will probably be taking on the best team in the tournament. That game will be at 5 o'clock a week from Tuesday at Henry County's gymnasium at the Henry County Invitational. Well, last night the Phillies lost here at home to Grant County 48-32. They've still got a couple of more games left before they take a break for Christmas. On Monday, we'll head to Fort Mitchell, where the Phillies will take on the Lady Tigers of Beechwood. And then on Wednesday, we'll head back to Northern Kentucky, this time, though, to Taylor Mill, where the Phillies will take on the Lady Eagles of Scott High School. And also, the other winter sport that is finishing up their pre-Christmas schedule, the bowling team, who today, maybe even still going on, hosting Lexington Catholic at Galactic Alley. Tomorrow, our bowling team will head to Danville to take on both Danville High School and Boyle County High School at Danville's bowling alley there just south of Lexington. So there's your short look at the pre-Christmas schedules in the winter sports here at Harrison County. Well, the Harrison County Air Force Junior ROTC is about to present the colors. So what we'll do is we'll take a listen to the National Anthem performed by the Harrison County High School Pep Band, after which we'll take a break and then come back for the tip-off of tonight's game between Harrison County and Bourbon County here in the fourth and final game of the Huck Turner Classic. So right now, let's take a listen to our National Anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Harrison County High School for today's final game of the Huck Turner Classic, featuring the Bourbon County Colonels and your Harrison County Thoroughbreds. Fans from Harrison County are asked to sit in the section of the bleachers across from the benches. Fans from Bourbon County are asked to sit in the section of bleachers behind the benches. Caution tape is marking the area the fans are asked to sit behind. As you saw on the door as you entered, it is recommended that masks be worn on all indoor events to help keep our students athletes on the floor for the entire season. Let's remember it is about our student athletes. Thank you in advance for your help. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please stand and remove your hats for the playing of our National Anthem. The colors are being presented by the cadets from the Harrison County High School Air Force Junior ROTC program. Carrying the U.S. flag and commanding is Cadet Major Nathan Nickerson. Carrying the Kentucky flag is Cadet Captain Carter Moore. And the guards tonight are Cadet Staff Sergeant Miles Bryant and Cadet Technical Sergeant Shelby Fugate. The National Anthem this evening will be played by the Harrison County High School Pep Band under the direction of Mr. Pyatt.
Alrighty, back here at Hilltop, the starting fives for both the Thoroughbreds and the Colonels being introduced to the crowd here. We set a pretty good crowd for tonight's game, especially this close to Christmas, as I'm sure a lot of people are catching up on their Christmas gifts that they have not yet bought and taking care of that as people. It's just a week before Christmas, so if you haven't gotten it done, go get it done.
Number 3, Mason Smiley.
The starting fives are as we told you they would be, with the exception that Blaine Biddle is starting in the middle instead of Will Furnish. So pencil Blaine in there for the start tonight. Blaine, a 6'4" senior, averaging 4.6 points per game. Harrison County 3-4, Bourbon County 1-4 on the very young season. Harrison County will have a definite size advantage tonight, if nothing else, as the tallest player on the floor right now for Bourbon, just 6 feet tall. Harrison County's got 6'4", Blaine Biddle, 6'5", J.D. Kendall, 6'3", Braylon Hinton among their starters. Blaine Biddle will be jumping center for Harrison. Across the midcourt stripe will be Sean Reese, who wears the number 24, a 6'4" senior averaging 0.8 points a game. He's making a start. Tap will be controlled by Bourbon County. With the basketball coming in the front court will be Izell. Gets it in between the circles to Cortavion Smith, and it goes between his hands and out of bounds. So quickly a turnover for Bourbon County starts things off here in the first minute of the game. Let's see who's not starting that I said was starting. Looks like number 21, he's in there, I think. Yeah, we'll figure it out a little bit later. Harrison County, a pitch inside. It's going beyond the ground, gets away with the loose balls, chased down by Custard. Custard fires a three-pointer, and out, no good. Rebound's going to be pulled out of there by Hinton. Braylon gets it back to Custard, who will reset the offense. Looks over to Coach Brooks to see what play he wants to run this time down the floor. Hinton now gets the ball in between the circles to Smiley. Back to Hinton, left side for a three-point try. Off the mark, no good. J.D. Kendall comes down with the rebound, gets it down to Blaine Biddle, who puts it up and in. Blaine Biddle opens up the scoring for Harrison County on the putback. Mark that down so I'll remember it. 6:53 left to go here in the first quarter of play. Out top of the basketball now is Green. Dribbles to the left elbow, down to the block, puts one up, and no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Harrison County. So Bourbon will retain possession. From his own baseline to trigger the inbounds pass will be Izell. Izell looking, still looking. Out. Now he gets it out to Smith near the timeline. Smith being guarded by Smiley. Backing back inside the center circle. Smith now makes his run into the paint, has the ball back tapped away from behind, but they're going to call a foul on Smiley. That'll be Mason's first, the team's first as well. Checking in the ball game will be Kane Flynn. Oh, Flynn was the one not starting. Flynn, as we said, a 6-foot junior, averaging 4.6 points per game. He'll check in as Green checks out. From his own baseline to trigger the inbounds pass once again will be Izell. Izell gets it into Highlander on the baseline, backs up Kendall to the block, now pitches it on the wing to Izell for a three-point try that's no good. Coming down with the rebound this time will be Blaine Biddle. Harrison County races up the floor. Custard fans it to the right side to Hinton for three. No good off the flange. Rebound, though, once again brought down by J.D. Kendall. From the left side, a three by Smiley is no good. And once again, Hinton gets the rebound. His putback is no good. Ensuing rebound pulled out of there by Highlander. And now a whistle and a foul is going to be called on Braylon Hinton. That'll be Hinton's first personal. Score still 2-0. We played a couple of minutes here in the first quarter. Harrison County up, but Bourbon County with the basketball. Both teams playing shorthanded tonight. Into the front court comes Highlander. Gets it in front of the Harrison County bench to Smith. Smith, the Paris transfer. Now we're going to have a foul away from the basketball. An illegal screen set by Smith. So give the ball back to the Thoroughbreds. If you've been thinking about a farm or machinery loan, call Michael Furnish with Farm Credit Mid-America at 859-254-2741 and learn how he can help you. Custard brings the ball across the timeline, gets on the right side, long range to Smiley, up top to Custard, to the left side near the hash mark to Hinton, back to Custard in between the circles. Pass to the right side to Smiley in front of the Bourbon bench. He'll get it up top to Hinton. Braylon in the paint to Kendall. Fans it in the corner to Custard. Custard drives, pulls up for a 12-footer, bounces off, no good. Biddle, though, comes down with the rebound for the Breds. He'll get it back inside, knocked away. Loose ball picked up by Custard, out top to Hinton. Braylon now gets it back between the circles to Kendall, where Harrison will reset. Pass in the corner to Smiley, back up top to Custard. Bounce pass in the paint to Kendall. Kendall drives to the block. His shot off the glass is no good, but he's fouled. Good ball move by Harrison County, especially guys moving without the basketball. Foul's going to be assessed to Reese. That'll be Sean Reese's first personal foul. Kendall going to the line for the first time tonight. JD suffering from the line, just 3 out of 10, 30%. First free throw here, though, is perfect. Extends Harrison County's lead to 3-0. Another free throw upcoming at the 5:18 mark for JD is on the way. And this one is also good as Harrison County extends its lead now to 4-0. Across the timeline with the basketball comes Izell. Gets it over to the near side to Smith, who has to save it from going out of bounds. Now dribbles in between the circles. Pass to the right side near the sideline to Highlander. Highlander back up top to Izell. To the left side, a three fired up by Reese is good. Sean Reese makes his presence known and gets his team back to within a 1-point deficit at 4-3. 4:53 left here in the first quarter. On the left side, Custer lets the ball go through his hands and out of bounds. That's the first turnover of the game on the Thoroughbreds. So Bourbon County a chance to take their first lead this possession. Izell brings the ball up the floor, and the dribble was a little faster than he is, and it goes out of bounds for the turnover. A couple of subs coming in for Harrison. Will Furnish, 6'10 sophomore, averaging 4.9 checks in. Also Richard Harris, 6'4 senior, averaging 6.1 points a game. He had 9 in the loss against Henry Clay last night, but overall probably had his best game of the season. Custard to Smiley in the front court, up top to Hinton, to the left side to Custard, long range, back up top to Hinton. Braylon fires the ball back on the wing to Custard, now back up top to Braylon. Hinton steps inside the center circle, now passes on the right side to Smiley in the paint to Harris. Richard drops the ball, picks it back up, puts up a 10-footer that's no good, and coming down with the rebound will be Flynn. And here come the Colonels in the front court. Smith drives baseline, cut off, gets it back up top and into the hands of Highlander, who will get it in turn to Flynn. Flynn hands the ball off to Izell, who will reset the offense from between the circles. Pass to the left side, long range to Highlander. Highlander makes his move on Smiley, gets it between the circles to Flynn for a three. No good off the flange. And the long rebound is going to be chased down by Harris. And here come the Thoroughbreds. In the front court, Custard. Bounce pass in the corner to Hinton. Drives, pulls up for a 14-footer short. Rebound yanked down by Sean Reese. As the score remains, Harrison 4-3 up with 3:46 left to go in a low-scoring first quarter. Racing to the basket but missing this shot is Highlander, and Hinton comes away with the rebound for the Breds. He'll bring the ball in the front court, pass to the right side to Custard. Custard up top to Smiley, in the paint to Harris. Richard stops, spins, drops, picks up, passes to Smiley in the corner to Custard. Custard in front of the Bourbon bench, up top to Smiley, over to the far hash mark to Hinton. And now we're going to have a whistle and a 3-second call on Harrison County. So turnover gives the ball back to the Colonels. In the game for the first time for Harrison, Garrett Wilson. Wilson, a 5'11 sophomore, averaging 1.8 points a game. Treats herself to some snapping. Salads, chicken wings, sandwiches, and of course, Beast Pizza. Call 235-7627 right now. That's 235-SNAP. Thank you, Ryan. With the basketball up top, Highlander. Dribbles to the arc, but is cut off by Harris. He'll get it into the hands of Smith at the top of the key, and as Smith makes his move on Smiley, takes an extra little hip-hop step for the turnover. Coming into the ball game now for Bourbon County, Brad Robinson. Robinson, a 5'10 freshman, averaging 1.4 points per game. Remember, Bourbon County without 4 of their starters here tonight because of illnesses. Here's a pass in the front court to Harris, dribbles out of it, and goes to the corner. Now gets it on the wing to Smiley, in between the circle to Custard, now to the far corner to Wilson. Back up top, gets the ball to Custard. Custard to the foul line, pull-up, jumper, good. First points of the game for Caden, and Harrison County has gone up 6-3. In the front court with 2:38 left, the Colonels putting up a shot, no good. Rebound pulled down by Custard. in the front court. Custard stops at the top of the key. Now passes in the corner to Wilson. Wilson baseline 15-footer, no good. Long rebound comes all the way up and is picked up by Garrett. He'll get the ball inside on no good. Harris with the rebound, put back good, and he's fouled. And Richard is going to the line for a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play. Good job, good strong move to the basket that time by Harris, making the putback that has put Harrison County up 8-3 with 2:17 left here in the first quarter. Harris at the line on the season, now shooting 52%. In the game for the first time, Cliffy McElvain for Harrison, a 6-foot sophomore who's yet to score this year. Harris's free throw is no good. Rebound pulled down by Highlander. Down now by 5. In the front court come the Colonels with 2 minutes left to go in the quarter. Up top with the basketball, Reese. Reese now is going to be fouled by Custard, who is going for the steal. That'll be Caden's first personal. So Bourbon will inbounds the ball from the near sideline just to the right of the Harrison County bench at the hash mark. Inbounding the ball will be Highlander. He'll get the ball to Reese. Back to Highlander. Highlander guarded by Harris. Makes his move to the top of the key. Goes into the paint between a triple team. Nearly lost it, but gets it into the corner to Reese for a three. Good. Sean Reese's second tray of the night. He'll pull his team back to within 2 at 8-6 with 1:45 left to go in the first quarter. On the left side, McElvain with it. Passes to the near side to Custard. Skip pass back to McElvain on the far side. Now between the circles to Custard at the elbow to Furnish. In the corner finds Wilson for 3. Bounces high off the rim, no good. Long rebound is going to be chased down by Wilson. He'll get the ball to McElvain. Back to Wilson up top. And now Garrett takes a little hip-hop dribble, or non-dribble, should say, for Harrison's third turnover of the first half. Bourbon County has committed 4. But the Colonels a chance to tie this game with a 2 or take the lead with a tray this time down the floor. Robinson in the front court. Cut off by Custard, gets it up top and into the hands of Highlander, who will get it back to Robinson. Robinson angles over to the right side. Now gets it up top to Reese. To the left side, long range to Flynn, and Flynn is going to be fouled by Wilson. That'll be Garrett Wilson's first personal foul. Talking about the Colonels being shorthanded. Of course, Clay Carpenter not in there for Harrison County tonight after tweaking an ankle over at Henry Clay in last night's game. Here's a pass into the backcourt to Robinson. Robinson recrosses the timeline, now drifts to the left side in front of the Harrison County bench. Between the legs dribble, he drops it. Loose ball is going to be picked up by Custard. Quickly in the front court comes the Harrison County sophomore, gets to McElvain in the corner, back up top once again to Custard. Caden, a floater in the lane from 12 is no good, and bringing down the rebound will be Reese. And here come the Colonels on the fly. Up the floor, Highlander in the corner, a 3, fired up, no good. Rebound pulled down this time by Garrett Wilson. Wilson brings the ball up the floor himself and into the front court, finds Custard in the corner, off the flange, no good. Rebound batted around, and finally coming away with it will be Sean Reese. Here come the Colonels. Here's a 3 fired up by Reese, and it's good. Third tray of the first quarter by Sean Reese, and the Colonels have taken the lead at 9-8 with under 12 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Harrison will try for the last shot of the quarter. Wilson up top to Custard. Custard back to Wilson on the right side with 4. Up to Custard, drives to the elbow, jump shot at the buzzer is no good. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, your score, Bourbon County 9, Harrison County 8. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WC1. righty, back here at the Hilltop. 6 unanswered points have been scored by Bourbon County as they take a 9-8 lead. Harrison County not shooting very well, just 3 for 17 from the floor in the first quarter. However, they have out-rebounded Bourbon 12-6. Bourbon with 5 turnovers, Harrison with 3. Kendall with the basketball as Harrison begins the second quarter with the ball. McIlvain to Garrett Wilson, down low to Furnish. His layup is good and he's fouled. That's the way to be strong in the basket, Will. He'll give his team the lead back and has a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play. That's the way we need for Will to do every time. Going to the line, Furnish on the year, 36%, and misses this free throw as well. Coming down with the rebound will be Highlander. In the front court, down by 1, the Colonels. Highlander in the paint, puts one up, no good, but he's going to be fouled. And we'll go to the line for 2. Nice move that time by the freshman. Fouls on Furnish. That'll be his first. Highlander at the line this year, 2 for 3 for 67%. Has not yet scored, but does have 3 rebounds. Got an emergency starter because of the illness that has run through the Bourbon County starting order. First free throw is good to retie the score. This time at 10-10 as Flynn checks back in. Second free throw upcoming for Highlander. We played just a half a minute of this second quarter. Second free throw is no good, and Wilson comes down with the rebound for Harrison. Quistard will take the ball across the timeline in the middle of the circle. Now surveys the Bourbon 2-3 zone and gets the ball into the hands of Wilson to McIlvain. Down low to Kendall on the baseline. Kendall back to Wilson on the wing. We get it between the circles to Custard. Back to McIlvain once again. Fires an open 3. Good! First points of his high school career for Cliffy McIlvain, but it gets Harrison County the lead at 13-10. Good shooting, Tex. Let's do that again sometime. 7 minutes exactly left to go in the first half. From the free throw line, jump shot put up no good by Ezell, and Garrett Wilson will come down with his 5th rebound of the first half. Really going to war on the boards is Garrett. Pass to the far hash mark. He'll get the ball to Wilson, to McIlvain, back up top to Custard. Custard directs some traffic. Now gets it on the near side to Wilson in the corner, finds McIlvain. Back up top to Wilson. Skip pass to Kendall on the left side. JD steps inside the arc. Now picks up his dribble and delivers it back to the midcourt circle to Custard. Back to Kendall on the left side. This time he fires a 3. Good! JD with his first field goal of the game. And Harrison County's lead has grown now to 16-10. Now a whistle in the front court, and we're going to have an inadvertent whistle, I believe. Coming in, Smiley, Hinton for Harrison County. Also returning to the game, David Green for Bourbon. Bourbon County with the ball, trailing 16-10. We've had 1 tie and 2 lead changes here in the game that's been close so far. The 6-point margin, the largest by either team so far. With the basketball, Ezell moves over to the left side in front of the Harrison County bench. Now gets it to the top of the key and into the hands of Green. Now here's a shot put up, no good. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Colonels. Blaine Biddle now will return to the floor for Harrison, replacing Will Furnish. We've played a couple of minutes of the second quarter. Custard will bring the ball into the front court. Gets it to the far sideline to Hinton. Now back to Custard on the far side of the circle. Now to the near side, outside the arc to Hinton. Back up top to Custard between the circles. Back to Hinton on the right side. Open for a 3. Try off the flange, no good. Skying for the rebound was Highlander. And as we come up the floor, a foul on Harrison County. It's going to be on Smiley. That'll be Mason's second. So he'll quickly come out of the game as McIlvain steps back in. Harrison County, that's how I did that one. Cynthiana Hardee's has made from scratch breakfast options and the best burgers in town. Hardee's is a proud supporter of Breads and Phillies basketball. With the basketball in between the circles, Green goes into the paint, puts one off the glass and good. Nice move that time by David Green to stop Harrison County's 6-point run and get his team back to within 4 at 16-12 with 5:25 left to go here in the first half. McIlvain with it, left side. Thought about the 3, but turned it down. Gets it back between the circles now to Custard. Custard back to McIlvain on the left side. Cliffy lobs it up top to Custard. Custard now in the corner, find Hinton. Hinton back up top to Custard. Bounce pass in the paint to Kendall. Kendall double team. Finds Hinton. Back up top to Custard. Back in the paint to Kendall. Goes to the glass. His shot off the flange. Bounces out. Rebound on the floor. And finally retrieved by JD. Gets it back up top to Custard in the paint once again to Kendall. And as Kendall goes towards the basket, before he gets there, he's going to be fouled. So just a common foul. The 5th on Bourbon. 4:50 left to go in the first half. Harrison leading 16-12. From his own baseline, Hinton gets the ball in the corner to Custard, up top to Kendall. Kendall to the right side, finds Hinton. Skip pass in the corner to Custard. Makes his move down the lane. Tries to pass it off, but standing in the way was Green. But Green can't control it. It goes out. Nope, they're going to say it was actually out of bounds on Harrison County. So give the ball back to the Colonels as Garrett Wilson comes back into the ball game.
Wilson.
Yeah, that time Caden trying to do just a little bit too much underneath the basket with all the traffic. Bringing the ball up the floor will be Izell. Izell surveys the Harrison County defense before crossing the timeline. Now on the far side, moves to the foul line in the paint. Has a shot blocked out of bounds by Biddle, but they're going to call Blaine for the foul. Looked pretty good from here. If that's not what the officials saw. That's Biddle's first personal foul. And we'll send Izell to the line for the first time tonight. Izell on the year, 3 for 5 from the charity stripe. That's 60%. First free throw's on the way and off to the right. No good. He'll have another, however. Second free throw for the junior is on the way, and this one bounces off. Biddle comes down with the rebound for the Breds. That's his third board of this first half. Kendall will walk the ball into the front court, directing some traffic as he drifts to the left side to the far hash mark to Hinton. Back up top to Kendall. To the right side finds McIlvain. McIlvain up top to Kendall. Kendall to McIlvain, open for a three. Try, bounces out. Rebound, Wilson goes back up. His shot's no good, but he's fouled. And Garrett is going to go to the line for a couple of free throws. The foul is on Green. That'll be David Green's first. Garrett Wilson making his first free throw attempts of the season. Or hopefully making him, attempting them anyway, as we are near the midway point of the second quarter. The first free throw by Wilson is good. Back in the game, Robinson returns for the Colonels. 17-12 now your score with Garrett Wilson's second free throw upcoming. Sophomore's try is good as well. Good job. 18-12 now the Thoroughbreds lead. Across the timeline comes Ezell on the near side of the midcourt circle. Goes to the top of the key, pass to the right side, long range to Highlander. Back to Ezell. Ezell falls down. Loose ball goes out of bounds. So give the ball back to Harrison County. Bourbon County's Ezell just simply slipping that time as he made a move. So the Breds right now with their largest lead, a chance to take an even bigger lead this time down the floor. Kendall with the basketball to the far hash mark to Wilson, to McIlvain. Now back to Kendall on the far hash mark. He'll move to the top of the key. Kendall to the left elbow extended. In the corner finds Hinton. Hinton back up top to Kendall. JD to the right side to McIlvain. Almost lost it, but retrieves it. Gets it back near the center circle to Kendall to the far hash mark to Hinton. Braylon to the top of the key to Kendall to the foul line to Biddle on the right side. McIlvain fires a three, try, rims out again. Rebound is pulled down by Hinton, and as he goes back up with it, he's going to be called for the foul. So give the ball back to the Colonels. Timeout called by Bourbon County. Just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. 3 minutes and 21 seconds left to go in the first half. Harrison County leads this low-scoring game 18-12. The Breds trailed 9-8 at the end of the first quarter, so have outscored Bourbon County here in the first 5 minutes or so of this second quarter. They've outscored the Colonels 10-3. Harrison County Farm Bureau knows that if you want something protected, you keep it covered. Call 234-4514 and Dustin or Amy will get you covered. Reds break the huddle first before going out on the floor. Now are joined by their counterparts from Bourbon County. Colonels will have the basketball out of the timeout. Inbounds pass comes to Ezell. Ezell across the timeline on the near side of the midcourt circle. Now goes between the circles where he'll pass it off to Highlander on the right side. Highlander being tracked by Kendall, gets a pass in the hands of Robinson. Robinson being hounded by Hinton in between the circles, finds Highlander. Highlander scoots over to the near side, steps inside the arc. Now gets it back beyond three-point range. Pass to Ezell. Ezell being guarded by Garrett Wilson. Now makes his move into the paint. Goes up for a shot, blocked by Wilson, but they're going to call a foul on Garrett as well. That time Garrett bringing his arm forward, which you cannot do. Actually going to call a foul on Biddle. That'll be Blaine's second personal foul. He joins Mason Smiley with 2 fouls for Harrison. That'll send Ezell back to the line where he's 0 for 2. First free throw by the junior is good this time for his first points of the night as Custard and Furnish come back into the game. 18-13 now your score. 2:49 left until halftime. Second free throw by Ezell is also good to cut the deficit back down to 4 at 18-14 for the Colonels. Harrison County up by that 4-point margin, and Custard will bring the ball into the front court. Passes to the far hash mark to Hinton, in between the circles to Kendall, the right side long range to Custard, on the baseline to Wilson, dumps it down to Furnish, who misses the layup, gets his own rebound, and then as he tries to come out of there, he's going to be fouled. Foul's going to be called on Green. Back into the ball game, or into the ball game for the first time for the Colonels, Dakota Evans. Evans, a 6'3 sophomore, playing his first game of the season. Furnish at the line, he's 0 for 1. With 2:32, his first of 2 free throws is on the way. Actually, it's a 1-and-1, no good. Rebound, J.D. Kendall, who puts it back up and in. Good job on the glass that time by J.D. He has 7 points and extends his team's lead back out to 6 at 20-14. On the putback basket. 2:17 left to go in the first half. Right side is Ezell, nearly double teamed. Kicks it back out top to Highlander. Now Highlander tries a pass. It's going to be knocked into the Harrison bench by Wilson. So Bourbon will retain possession. Down by a half a dozen as we approach the 2-minute mark of the first half. Highlander gets the ball in bounds to Ezell. Ezell between the legs dribble. Moves to the wing. Now gets it back in the hands of Highlander. Highlander has his pocket picked this time by Custard. Caden to J.D. to the basket. Good. J.D. Kendall with 9 first half points to lead his team, and Harrison County has its largest lead at 22-14. In the front court with the basketball with 1:45 left to go in the half is Ezell. Ezell just standing there yo-yoing the ball, waiting his team to get where they're supposed to be. Now moves to the top of the key before angling to the left side. Harrison, a good defense this time. Ezell goes to the block between a triple team, has a block, or a shot blocked. Custard comes up with the rebound. Caden in the front court on the baseline, nearly traveled, and now he did travel. He was looking to get the ball to Wilson, but lost his balance. Back in the game, Reese returns for Bourbon. Got to watch out for him. Sean Reese with 3 threes already in this ball game. Taking a look at what Reese has done this season from long range, if I can ever turn the page. Coming in, Reese was 0 for 2 from three-point range, but he's 3 for 3 tonight. So coming alive against the Thoroughbreds from three-point range. Ezell puts up a runner that bounces in. 4 points for Miles Ezell. Gets his team back to within 6 at 22-16. Under a minute to go here in the first half. On the right side, Kendall in the corner finds Wilson. Back up top to Custard once again. Back to the right side to Kendall. He'll fire a 3, and it's going to rim out. Corkscrewed down about halfway before coming back out again. Rebound pulled down by Reese. In the front court, Highlander with the basketball. Back to Ezell near the timeline on the near side of the circle. 30 seconds left to go in the quarter, in the half. Ezell gets the ball on the baseline to Reese. His 12-footer is no good, and Hinton comes away with the rebound for the Thoroughbreds. Thoroughbreds on the run. Custard, a runner, bounces off. Rebound is going to be saved from going out of bounds by Hinton. His shot's no good. Now going back up, Custard, no. And now Furnish, no. And now a foul is going to be called on Bourbon County. Good offensive rebounding by the Thoroughbreds. Furnish going back to the line where he's 0 for 2. Missed the front end of 2 1-and-1s this time. Tried to correct that and misses his third attempt. This is a 2-shot foul, so he'll have another chance to try to get his team back up by 7 with 10.9 seconds left to go in the first half. And now the second free throw is good. 23-16. With the basketball up the floor comes Smith. Smith with 7 seconds left makes his move to the top of the key with 5. A runner is put up and no good. Rebound on the floor, still being chased after as the buzzer sounds. And that will bring us to the end of the first half of play with your score. Harrison County 23, Bourbon County 16. We'll take a break and then come back for our halftime show brought to you by Joe Cochran out at State Farm. We'll go over all the scoring. We'll also have some special guests coming up after this timeout. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WC1. Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop, let's take a look at the scoring of this game, which Harrison County leads in the Huck Turner Classic 23-16. First for Bourbon County, they're paced by Sean Reese, who has 9 points on 3 3-pointers. As we mentioned coming into the game, Reese was 0 for 2 in the first 5 games from long range. 4 points for Miles Ezell, 2 points for David Green, and a single point for Caden Highlander. Also playing but not scoring, Cortavion Smith, Kane Flynn, Brad Robinson, and Dakota Evans. For Harrison County, J.D. Kendall leads the way with 9, including a tray. 3 points scored by both Will Furnish and Cliffy McIlvain on a tray, and 2 points each for Caden Custard, Richard Harris, Blaine Biddle, and Garrett Wilson. Also playing but not scoring, Braylon Hinton and Mason Smiley. That's the way the individual numbers look. We'll take a break and come back with Harrison County leading 23-16 at halftime. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WC1. righty, back here at the Hilltop. Harrison County leading by a score of 23-16 at the half. Thoroughbreds in that second quarter outscored the Colonels 15-7 to take this 7-point lead. They've led by as many as 8 points here in the first half. Take a look at the stats real quick for you. Harrison County from the floor struggling somewhat at 26.7% on 8 out of 30. They attempted 13 trays and made only 2. Meanwhile, Bourbon County, 5 out of 16 from the floor. That's 31.3%. They attempted 6 trays and made half of them for 50%. Also from the free throw line, Harrison County, 5 out of 9 for 55.6%, while Bourbon County was 3 of 6 for 50%. And Harrison County dominated the backboards in the first half, out-rebounding the shorter Bourbon County Colonels by a measure of 25-9. Yes, 25-9. We out-rebound the Colonels. Harrison County 14 offensive and 11 defensive boards for their 25. They're led by both Braylon Hinton and Garrett Wilson with 6 boards apiece. Meanwhile, no offensive and 9 defensive boards for the Colonels. They were paced by a couple of players, Caden Highlander and Sean Reese, each of which had 4 rebounds apiece. So that's the way that the individual stats look here in the first half, and the reason that Harrison County right now has a 23-16 advantage. Thoroughbreds, this will be the last time they'll play until a week from Tuesday. So a rather long layoff, getting some practice time before heading down to Eminence to play in the Henry County Invitational Tournament, where
Get out of the way. Ice. Wow. So, we're up at halftime, 16-23. They got Miles Creed, he's not Spanish. Danny, all right? Oh, yeah,
Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop. We're about to begin the third quarter with Harrison County leading 23-16. The Breds have led by as many as 8. We've had one tie and a couple of lead changes as both teams having a hard time finding the basket in that first half. Kendall with the basketball, gets it between the circles to Custard. Caden moves to the right side in the corner, finds Smiley for a three-point try. No good, too long. Rebound's going to be pulled down by Cortavion Smith. And up the floor and into the front court come the Colonels. Shot put up and good. That basket by Highlander, his first. Gets his team back to within a 23-18 margin. Now in the front court with the basketball, Kendall goes to the basket. His half hook shot's no good. Biddle with the putback, no good, but he's fouled. Nice job on the offensive glass that time by Biddle. As I mentioned before, we're trying to get Blaine to be meaner. He and Will both are too nice. I'm sure their parents love to hear that, but on the basketball floor, they need to be meaner. Biddle at the line this year, a 55% free throw shooter, makes his first to extend his team's lead back out to 6 at 24-18. Blaine will have a second one coming here a half a minute into this second half. Second free throw by the big man is on the way and good as well. He has 4 points, already matching his season's average. So the Breds go back out on top by 7, 25-18. Across the timeline comes Highlander. Highlander drifts to the right side in between the circles, hands the ball to Izell. Izell from the left elbow, jump shot, air ball. Will go harmlessly out of bounds. Give the ball back to the Breds. Harrison County Farm Bureau knows that if you want something protected, you keep it covered. Call 234-4514 and Dustin or Amy will get you covered. In the front court, Hinton hands the ball to Custard on the left side. He'll move to the top of the key and gets it on the right side to Hinton on the baseline now to Kendall. Back out top to Hinton, to the left side to Custard, long range. Custard back to Hinton on the far side. NBA three range is a little too long, and the rebound comes all the way out to Highlander. In the front court come the Colonels, down by 7. Highlander in the paint, traveled, no call. Now has the ball knocked away from behind, and the loose ball picked up by Kendall. JD in the front court gets the ball to Hinton. Hinton's shot blocked by Izell, so they're going to call Izell for the foul as well. Izell at 5'7", Braylon at 6'3". Just a height difference forcing that foul as Izell got on top of Hinton, and there's no way he could have done that without fouling. Braylon at the line for the first time tonight on the year. He is 8 for 8, a perfect 100% from the charity stripe. Looking for his first point tonight, although he does have 6 rebounds. First free throw is nothing but net. Braylon extends his team's lead out now to 26-18. He can give his team its largest lead of the game if he can make this free throw here. It's on the way, and this one is off the mark, no good, and on the rebound, a foul on Biddle. And for Blaine, that'll be his third personal foul, the first player in the ballgame to pick up that many infractions. Want to leave him in there for right now. Up the floor with the basketball will come Izell. Gets it to Highlander. Highlander dishes the ball off and into the hands of Green. Green goes in the paint. And as he goes for a shot, a foul on Harrison County. If that's on Biddle, that'll be number 4. And it is. So Blaine's going to have to come out with those 4 personal fouls as Will Furnish will check back in. And Will's going to get quite a bit of playing time as there's 6:23 left to go in the third quarter. Blaine not happy as he comes back to the bench. From his own baseline on the opposite side of the basket is Izell. Izell looking, lobs it out top and catching it just before he falls out of bounds. Flynn, but it's going to be taken away by Smiley all the way the other way. Mason lays it up and in. First points of the game for Smiley as Harrison County takes a 10-point lead on the shot there. Shot put up no good by Bourbon, and Smiley gets the rebound. Mason in the front court to Kendall. Kendall back to Mason, up top to Hinton. Back to Smiley, left side in front of his bench. Gets it down on the block to Furnish. Furnish, hook shot, short. And on the rebound, we're going to have a foul on Furnish. After Flynn got the rebound, and that'll be Will's second personal foul. Got 5:56 on the clock. And Bourbon County with the basketball down by 10. Harrison County here in this third quarter outscored Bourbon 5-2. Near the center stripe, Green has the ball, gets it on the wing to Izell. Izell on the baseline to Flynn. His reverse layup is no good, and Kendall comes down with the rebound. Harrison continues to dominate the boards. Custard in the corner to Hinton for a three-point try. Short. Rebound pulled down once again by Kendall. His putback is good. JD with 11 points. Gets his team up by a dozen points at 30-18 on the putback. Now a foul in the front court on Harrison County. That'll be on Custard, and that'll be Caden's second. Back in the game, Brad Robinson returns. From his own baseline to trigger the inbounds pass will be Robinson. Robinson saw quite a bit of action in the first half as well. Here's a shot put up, no good. And on the second shot, a foul is going to be called on Harrison County. It's going to be on Furnish. Golly, and that's 3 on Will. So Biddle has 4 and Furnish has 3. Going to the line for Bourbon County. 5:13 mark. First free throw is no good. They'll have another. As Harrison start to extend that lead out some. They've scored 7 straight, have the Breads. Second free throw also no good. Rebound pulled in this time by Kendall. Gosh, JD with 7 rebounds tonight. Custer with the basketball. Up top finds JD for a 3. In and out. That ball went halfway down and came back out again. Rebound pulled down by Highlander, who runs the other way. Has a shot blocked by Custard. What a block. Perfect timing. Furnish with the rebound. You ain't going to get 5 better blocks than that. Up top with the basketball. Custard between the circles. Moves it to the right side to Hinton for a 3-point try. No good. Rebound is knocked around. Still being chased after and finally coming away with it will be Flynn. Flynn in the front court to Robinson. Robinson goes too deep on the baseline. He's triple teamed and lost the ball. Another turnover for the Colonels. Custard into the front court. His team up by a dozen. Stops at the left elbow. Follow-away jumper is no good, but he's going to be fouled by Reese. That'll be Sean Reese's second personal foul. So Custard going to the line for 2. First free throws of the night for Caden. On the year, a 77% free throw shooter. First free throw here in the second half is on the way and bounces off to the right. Harris and McIlvain back in for Harrison County. Meanwhile, Smith and Ezell return to the floor for the Colonels. Cynthia Hardee's has made from scratch breakfast options and the best burgers in town. Hardee's is a proud supporter of Breads and Phillies basketball. Second free throw upcoming for Custard, who also has 3 rebounds and 3 assists. So he can make it 3s across the board if he can make this free throw here. Second free throw by the sophomore, who came in averaging over 15 points a game, is good. Harrison County with a baker's dozen lead now at 31-18. Approaching the midway point of the third quarter. With the basketball on the right side is Highlander. Kicks it up top and into the hands of Flynn. Flynn drives to the basket. Shot blocked out of bounds by Furnish. And as the ball is going out of bounds, it hits off of Flynn. So Harrison County will get the ball. That's fortuitous. Right now, the Thoroughbreds on an 8-point run. With the basketball, Custard across the timeline. Gets it on the left side to McIlvain in front of the Harrison County bench. Up top to Smiley. Back to McIlvain left side. Cliffy in between the circles now to Custard, to the foul line to Harris. Harris goes into the paint, forces up a shot, no good, but he's going to be fouled. That foul may be on the floor. He's going to be assessed to 15. That's his first. So from his own baseline to trigger the inbounds pass will be Harris. Now he'll give way to McIlvain for this particular play with 3:52 left to go in the third, and Harrison leading 31-18. McIlvain in the corner finds Custard, gets it on the wing to Smiley. Back to Custard in the corner, dumps it into the block to Furnish, and as Furnish tries to back his defender up, a foul is going to be called on the Colonels. So just a common foul. And coming back in the game will be Evans. From his own baseline, McIlvain will try to get the ball in bounds. Mason is wide open over here, and nobody for Bourbon County sees him. I hope Cliffy does. Now Smith angles over, so not open anymore. McIlvain gets the ball in the corner to Custard. Caden Now a skip pass in the corner to McIlvain for three. Too long. Rebound is saved in by Custard. Gets the ball to McIlvain, who lays it up and in. McIlvain with 5 points on the night. Puts Harrison County up by a 33-18 margin. 3:23 left in this third quarter. Now Custard trying to steal the ball, knocks it out of bounds, as Garrett Wilson will return to the lineup for Harrison. Furnish will come out. So Wilson will take over the post position as he plays in JV. From his own baseline, Izell lobs the ball into the backcourt to Flynn. Flynn to the right side to Izell. Izell races into the paint, dumps it down on the block, and the shot is made by Evans to stop Harrison County's 10-point run and get the Colonels back to within a 33-20 disadvantage. That's Dakota Evans' first points on that layup. Ball knocked out of bounds. Exactly 3 minutes left on the clock here in the third. McIlvain will inbounds the ball from the hash mark on this near sideline. Gets it inbounds to Smiley to the far hash mark to Custard. Back up top to McIlvain to the left side to Smiley in the paint to Garrett Wilson. Now on the baseline to Custard. Custard drives, and as he does, he's going to be pushed. Foul, I believe, is going to be on Flynn. We'll double check, and it is on Kane Flynn. That'll be his first personal foul. Harrison 3-4 with a couple of straight losses coming in. Meanwhile, Bourbon County 1-4 on the season. From his own baseline, McIlvain getting by far his most playing time at the varsity level. Gets it to Harris from the block. His shot's short. Richard gets his own rebound, though. Misses it. This time Garrett Wilson puts it back up and in. Nice job that time by Garrett to get the shot to go down. 4 points now for Garrett Wilson. That time on the putback, which now a steal by Harrison County on the other end of the floor. And as we come up the floor, the ball is going to be knocked out of bounds by Bourbon, and a foul is going to be called on Miles Izell. That'll be Izell's second personal. Now put Harrison County in the bonus as David Green returns to the lineup, replacing Izell. Custard back to the line where he's 1 for 2. Caden has been limited to just 3 points tonight. But that's okay because the team leads 35-20. Harrison County led by 7 at the half. First free throw is no good. Rebound still being chased after. And finally, Richard Harris comes up with it. Here's a shot put up and good from the far side. Caden now with 5 points on the night. After that shot, makes it 37-20. 2:09 left. Here's a Flynn three-point try off the flange, no good. And Harris goes in and gets the rebound. That's 3 in the second half. Now Bourbon County with the steal. And the possession arrow will give the ball back to the Colonels. First turnover of the second half on the Breds comes with exactly 2 minutes left to go. J.D. Kendall awaiting the notification he can come into the game, which he now does. From his own baseline, Cortavion Smith will inbounds the ball, the Paris transfer. Where's the number 00? Gets it into the corner to Flynn. Flynn up top between the circles to Highlander. Highlander goes to the block. His shot off the glass is no good, and Wilson is there to grab the garbage. 8 rebounds now for Wilson in the game. Custard to Wilson in between the circles to the left side to McIlvain. Back up top to Wilson. At the foul line finds Kendall. Kendall dumps the ball in the corner to Custard for a three-point try. No good. Harrison County will knock the ball away from each other, but sticking his hand in there and knocking it out of bounds was Bourbon County. But the Breds will have possession. Inbound the ball will be McIlvain with $1:36 left to go in the third. He'll get it in the corner to Custard, out top to Kendall. Over on the right side, Wilson in the corner finds McIlvain on the far side in front of the stable. Back up top to Wilson. Wilson to the left side to Custard, who will bring it back between the circles to reset the offense. Pass to Kendall. JD takes a dribble up top to Custard. Right side, McIlvain for 3. Count it down. Cliffy McIlvain with his second tray of the game puts Harrison County up now 40-20. In the front court, shot put up and good by David Green. David Green's second basket makes it 40-22 with under a minute to go. with the basketball out top, Custard. Directing some traffic, looking at the 2-3 Bourbon zone. Now makes his move to the top of the key, pass to the right side to McIlvain for another three try. This time it's short. Rebound is grabbed by Highlander, and as he comes out of there, we're going to have a foul on the Thoroughbreds. It's going to be on Wilson. That'll be Garrett's second. So our post players, Furnish, Biddle, and Wilson, have collectively picked up 9 fouls. But that's okay because they get 15 between them. Or should I say among them. Bill Kaywood would be proud of me for catching that error, or maybe not for not saying it right in the first place. With the basketball into the front court comes Smith. Drives in the paint, spins, and before he can get off a shot, a foul on Custard. That'll be 3 on Caden. That'll put the Colonels into the bonus as well for the rest of the game. 26 seconds left to go in the third. Actually, 28 seconds left to go in the third. As Braylon Hinton will check in. Comes in for Custard so that Caden doesn't pick up a cheap foul in the final 28 seconds of this third quarter. Smith at the line for the first time tonight on the year. He's a 50% free throw shooter. His first free throw, though, is good. Takes the deficit to 40-33. As with 28 seconds left, his second free throw is off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound pulled down by Garrett Wilson. With the basketball, Kendall across the timeline. Looks over to Coach Brooks to see what play he wants to run for the final 18 seconds. It appears that Harrison County will be going for the last shot. McIlvain lobs the ball on the baseline to Wilson. Down low to Harris, who lays it up and good. Good job that time by Richard. Good pass by Wilson. 42-35 your score. 2 seconds left. A shot at the buzzer from 3 by Bourbon is no good. So at the end of 3 your score, Harrison County 42, Bourbon County 23. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WC. All righty, back here at the Hilltop, Harrison County outscores Bourbon in that third quarter, 19-7, to take a 19-point lead into the second half, or the fourth quarter, excuse me. It looked like they may be well on their way, the Thoroughbreds, to evening up their record at 4-4 going into the Christmas break. If you've been thinking about a farm or machinery loan, call Michael Furnish with Farm Credit Mid-America at 859-254-2741 and learn how he can help you. Harrison with the ball to begin the fourth quarter. Kendall will walk the ball into the front court. Gets it to the right side near the hash mark to Hinton. Braylon skip pass to the near side to Kendall, long range. Kendall back near the center circle to McIlvain. Now to the far hash mark again to Braylon in front of the stable. To Kendall to the left side in front of the Harrison bench to McIlvain. Back up top to Kendall again to the right side to Hinton. Braylon in between the circles, McIlvain to Kendall. Kendall back up top to Hinton. Hinton back to Kendall on the left side. Harrison County running some clock with that foul trouble. Blaine Biddle back in the game with those 4 fouls. And Bourbon County staying in that zone. Pass to Wilson on the baseline, and as he goes towards the basket, a foul is going to be called on Cortavion Smith. That'll be his second personal foul. Should be 1-1, and it will be. The Breds try to extend their lead. See Alex Sled over there. The wrestling team was at Louisville Central at the Rumble on the Hive earlier today. Hopefully they did well. Garrett Wilson at the line. He's 2 for 2. First free throw, though, is no good. And on the rebound, we're going to have a foul called on Harrison County's McIlvain. Be McElvain's first personal foul, and we'll head the other way and shoot some free throws as Mason Smiley checks in. Sean Reese at the line. Reese is attempting his first free throws of the season. Senior had 3 threes in the first quarter, but has not scored since that time. But at the 7:20 mark, gets his 10th point on the successful free throw. It's at 42-24. Second free throw by number 24 is on the way and good. A career high 11 points for Sean Reese. Working in relief of the regular starters who are out with an illness. As we said, Reese came in averaging less than a point a game, so a good game for him. Hinton gets the ball down low into the hands of Wilson, but Wilson can't secure it, so it goes out of bounds for the turnover. Only the second turnover of the second half on the Breds. Bourbon with the ball, facing some pressure by Smiley as the ball comes into Smith. Smith goes up the far sideline into the front court, spins at the wing, now moves to the left elbow where he launches up a runner that's no good. Rebound pulled down by Braylon Hinton, who has 7 boards on the night. Custard with the basketball out top. Steps inside the arc, in the corner finds Smiley, back on the wing to Custard, long range. Now to the top of the key to Kendall. JD between the circles to Custard, to the right side to Kendall, long range. Kendall gets the ball to Smiley. In the corner finds Custard. Custard goes down the baseline. Now skip pass underneath the basket to Hinton. Hinton lays it in, and he is fouled. And Braylon has a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play. Foul is going to be on David Green. That'll be his second.
Shooting one of the balls. Into the game for Bourbon County, number 21, Highlander.
Highlander checks back in for the Colonels. 6:34 on the clock. As we said, Hinton at the line. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Sophomores. Free throw is on the way and good. So the successful old-fashioned three. Puts Harrison County up by an even 20 now at 45-25. 6.5 left. Smith with the basketball, goes into the paint, lobs up a shot, no good. Biddle comes down with the rebound for the Breds. Reds had lost 5 straight to the Colonels before tonight. Hopefully we are about to snap that string. From the right side, Hinton to the left side to Kendall. Or make that Custard now to Kendall. Skip pass up top to Smiley for a three-point try. High off the flange, no good. Rebound is brought down by Kendall, but as he tries to get out of there, he's going to be called for the travel. So JD picks up his 8th rebound of the night. Go along with his 11 points, so a couple of boards short of a double-double. Across the timeline with the basketball comes Reese. Reese drives into the basket. His leaner is not good enough, and Kendall comes down with another board. In the front court, Hinton on the baseline. Guns it into the paint to Biddle. To Custard, down low to Kendall, and before Kendall can get to the basket, he's going to be fouled. Foul is going to be on Sean Reese, and that'll be Reese's 3rd. Kendall at the line. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Has 11 points and 9 rebounds. First free throw is on the way and perfect. Gives him a dozen points. And puts Harrison County up 46-25. 5:42 left. Second free throw also nothing but net. Baker's dozen points for Kendall. Harrison's lead now 47-25. In the front court comes Reese with the basketball. Gets it into the hands of Smith. Smith goes into the paint. And as he tries to split the double team, a foul called on Harrison County. And I think it's going to be on Biddle as the officials get together. And that will be Blaine Biddle's 5th. So Biddle will check out, having picked up 4 points and 5 boards. But with 5.5 left, he'll have to sit the rest of the way as Will Furnish will check back in. Good thing is Harrison County leads 47-25. Breds have just slowly extended their halftime lead, which was 23-16. First free throw by Smith is good. He's now 2 for 3 on the night. He'll have another. Second free throw by Smith is on the way, and this one is good as well. And now Coach Campbell wants a timeout. We'll take it as well. 5:35 left. Your score, Harrison County 47, Bourbon County 27. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WC. Custer gives the ball to Kendall in between the circles. Kendall back to Custard, who goes near the center circle again. Pass to the right side to Smiley. Now between the circles. Once again to Hinton to the left side. Finds Custard on the baseline to Kendall. Dumps it down low to Furnish, who puts it up and in. Give the assist that time to Kendall as Furnish scores his 5th point. Just a great ball movement that time by the Breds as they lead now 49-27. And now a shot put up is blocked to the bounds by Furnish. As the Bourbon County shooting woes continue, as they just never have gotten on track. Harrison County shooting better here in the second half than they did in the first. From in front of his own bench to trigger the inbounds pass will be Flynn. Gets it inbounds this time to Smith. Smith lost control of the basketball, and the loose ball picked up by Custard goes to the basket and lays it in. 7 points now for Caden on the steal and layup. 51-27 now. 4:48 left. With the basketball in the front court, Highlander has a shot blocked by Furnish. You have got to be kidding me. Will was straight up, and they still called a foul on him. There'll be 4 fouls on Furnish. Blaine Biddle's already fouled out in the game. Either way, it'll send Caden Highlander to the line, where he is 1 for 2. Has 3 points all together. First free throw by the freshman is on the way and good. His 4th point as Miles Izell checks back into the ball game. That free throw by Highlander makes it 51-28. Second free throw is also going to roll in there. Back in the game, David Green returns for the Colonels. However, Harrison County leads 51-29. Inbounds pass comes to Hinton. Back to Kendall. Kendall between the legs dribble. Gets it to Hinton. Now on the baseline to Custard. Custard back up top to Smiley, long range. Now to Kendall in between the circles. Kendall back to the near side to Smiley. Gets it on the wing to Custard in front of the Harrison bench. He'll bring it near the timeline. 1-4 offense. Custard goes to the block. Kicks it back to Hinton at the elbow. His jump shot from there is short. Rebound pulled down by Green. And up the floor and into the front court. Here come the Colonels. With the basketball on the right side. A 3 by Flynn is good. Long range tray by Kane Flynn. Makes it a 51-32 game. Harrison County still with a comfortable lead as we pass the midway point of this 4th quarter. Kendall on the right side to Hinton. Hinton goes into the paint. Lifts off a shot. It's off the glass and good, and he's fouled. And Braylon, another chance for the old-fashioned tray play. Foul is on Highlander. That'll be his first.
He will be at the line for 1 shot.
Braylon Hinton puts his team up 53-32. And at the 3:46 mark, his chance for the old-fashioned three-point play is successful, as he's now 3 for 4 from the line. Timeout called by the Thoroughbreds. We'll take it as well. As we said, 3:46 left. Your score now, Harrison County 54, Bourbon County 32. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WC. We get back to play out of the timeout. Bourbon County with the basketball, trailing by 22. Here in the second half, Harrison County has just slowly but surely extended what was a 7-point halftime lead. Highlander at the top of the key, backs up for a three, rolls off. Furnish comes down with the rebound for the Thoroughbreds. In the front court with the basketball. A three from the corner by Smiley is good. Mason buries the tray. His biggest shot of the night makes it 57-32. 3:19 on the clock. Izell with the basketball. Gets it over on the near wing into the hands of Highlander. Highlander crosses over his dribble, moves to the foul line, kicks it back on the left wing. Here's a long three by Reese. No good off to the left. Rebound, though, picked up, then put back up and in this time by Miles Izell. So Miles with the putback gets his team back to within 57-34 score as we go under 3 to go. Hinton gets the ball down on the block to Furnish, who misses the hook shot. And as a fight for the rebound, I think we're going to have Will over the back. That'll be Furnish's fifth. So both Biddle and Furnish foul out. 5 points, 4 boards for Will. It was opposite, 4 points, 5 boards for Blaine, so 9 and 9 for both of them. 2:45 left. Let's see. Richard Harris checks back in as Reese goes to the line where he's 2 for 2. First free throw is good as he continues to build upon his career high, which is now at 12. 57-35. The second free throw is no good, and Kendall is there for the rebound, giving a double-double on the night. 2:39 left. With the basketball, Custer goes baseline, and now the reverse layup is going to roll in there. 9 points for Caden. Puts his team up 59-35 on the layup. 2:21 left. With the basketball is Izell out top. Backs up near the center circle. Gets it back on the left side, long range to Reese. Reese, who does have 3 threes in the game, got to watch him from the outside, goes inside the arc, now pitches it back up top to Highlander. Highlander, who has had a nice game, now tries a pass to Izell, goes beyond him and out of bounds for a turnover. That's now 13 turnovers for Bourbon County on the night. Harrison County has committed just 8. And now Cortavion Smith will check back in for the Colonels. Treat yourself to some Snappy. Salads, chicken wings, sandwiches, and of course Beast Pizza. Call 235-7627. That's 235-SNAP. Thank you, Ryan. With the basketball, Custard across the timeline on the far side of the circle. Gets it on the right wing in front of the Stable to Hinton. Stable nice and healthy tonight. Kendall in the paint to Harris. Harris goes to the basket. His up and under move shot is no good, but he's fouled. Foul's going to be on Green, and that'll be David Green's third. Sending Harris to the line. Richard is 0 for 1 from the charity stripe tonight. He has 4 points and 4 boards. At the 1:46 mark on the clock, his free throw is off the flange. He'll have another shot at it as they try to get to 60. Harrison County about to empty its bench. Second free throw for Harris. It's going to be good. Gives him 5. And Harrison County a 60-35 lead. Timeout called by Bourbon County. It's just going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. As Richard Harris made one of 2 of those free throws to put his team up 60-35. So as we mentioned before, a minute 46 left. Harrison County ahead comfortably 60-35, about to even up its record on the year at 4-4, while Bourbon County will drop to 1-5 on the season. But this Bourbon County team much better than what we're seeing tonight. As we said, 3 starters, including their top 3 scorers, out with illnesses and unable to play, thus hindering big time their offensive capabilities. They came into the game averaging 64 a game. They're 29 less than that right now. Izell with the basketball, lobs it in the corner to Smith. Smith drives, puts up a 10-footer that's no good, and coming down with the rebound is Kaysen Wright, who's in the game. Kaysen, a 6'1 sophomore. Also in the game, Elijah Harris, a 5'7 sophomore. And now we're going to have Garrett Wilson checking back in after the Bourbon County turnover. Inbounds pass comes to Custard. Custard brings the ball into the front court on the far side. Now backs up to reset the offense near the far side of the midcourt circle. Now pitches it to the left side, long range to Elijah Harris. Between the circles finds Wilson again. Wilson drives to the right side, now backs up and lobs it to Custard at the top of the key. Caden goes to the elbow extended. Now drops down to the block. His shot off the glass is good and he's fouled. And Caden has a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play as he puts his team up 62-35. The foul is on Highlander, his second. So Reds up, as we said, 62-35. And with 1:01 left, the free throw is no good. But Richard Harris goes and chases down the rebound. As Richard goes inside, we're going to have a charging foul called on him. That'll be Richard's first personal foul. Let's give the ball back to the Colonels. 57 seconds is all that's left. And what will be Harrison County's first victory over the Colonels in 5 years. Out top with the basketball is Izell. Gets it into the corner to Reese. Reese back on the wing to Green. Green drives, now kicks it out onto the corner to Reese, but a foul is going to be called on Harrison County. Foul's on Harris, and that'll be Richard's second. So went most of the game without a foul, but has a couple here in the last 30 seconds. Green at the line for the first time tonight. He is 5 for 5, making 6 for 6 as he makes that first free throw to give him 5 points on the night. 62-37 as he makes both the free throws. But just 35 seconds left on the clock. In the front court with the basketball comes Wilson. Pass to the left side, long range to Elijah Harris. Elijah now into the hands of Custard, who drives to the baseline, kicks in the corner to right. Right back on the wing to Wilson. Wilson gives the ball back to Custard as the clock winds down to 20. Custard at the left elbow, now backs it back out. Again, Harrison about to win this game. Right now leading 62-37. And Coach Campbell telling Miles Izell to back off as the clock will wind down to 0. Harrison County wins by a final score of 62-37 to improve to 4-4 on the year. We invite you to stay tuned now for our post-game show brought to you by MCTC Lincoln Valley Campus. We'll go over all the scoring and stats from tonight's game, as well as have a chat with Coach Brooks. We'll also name our Judy Construction Company player of the game. It's a lot to get done, but we'll get it all done, I promise. But once again, from here on the hilltop, your final score in the fourth and final game of the Huck Turner Classic, Harrison County 62, Bourbon County 37. You've been listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WC.
Dealing with the real world wasn't easy, even before the whole global pandemic thing. Trying to pay the bills, worrying about family, or just trying to figure out what you want to be. The good news? Maysville Community and Technical College is open and ready, with on-campus and online programs that can lead to essential careers in IT, healthcare, and more, all at less than half the cost of a four-year university. So never put your dreams on hold, and never underestimate you.
Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop, Harrison County defeats Bourbon County by a final score of 62 to 37. 62 to 37, the final score in the fourth and final game of the Huck Turner Classic, a game that was close for a half before Harrison County opened up the third quarter with an 8-0 run and never looked back as they win by the eventual 25-point margin. The Breds led by only 7 at the end of the first half, but were able to get out there and really tire down the much smaller Bourbon County squad and just completely destroyed them on the boards tonight as they out-rebound them 46 to 18. That's not a misprint. 46 to 18 on the boards as what we should have done. Gosh, we're just so much taller than they are. In fact, Bourbon County only credited with 1 offensive rebound. But taking a look at the scoring, first for the Colonels, who dropped to 1-5 on the year. They place just one player in double figures, Sean Reese, who had a career-high 12 points, including 3 three-pointers, so a big game for the senior there. An emergency starter because of the illnesses that have struck the Bourbon County team over the last few days. 6 points each for Miles Ezell and David Green, and a 5 spot for Caden Highlander. 3 points each for Cortavion Smith had 3 points, as did Kane Flynn, and a couple of points as well for Dakota Evans. Also playing but not scoring for the Colonels tonight was Brad Robinson. For Harrison County, a couple of players in double figures, but leading the way, J.D. Kendall with a double-double tonight, 13 points and 10 rebounds. He also dished out an assist for good measure. Caden Custard also with 11 points, 9 of those coming in the second half. 8 points for Cliffy McIlvain, including a couple of three-pointers. 5 points each for Will Furnish, Mason Smiley, and Richard Harris. 4 points as well for both Blaine Biddle and Garrett Wilson. The only player who got into the game, or actually there was 2 players who got into the game that did not score for Harrison County, both Kason Wright and Elijah Harris there towards the end of the game. That's the way the individual numbers look. We'll come back and take a look at the team stats and have a chat with Coach Brooks after this timeout. Once again, your final score from here on the Hilltop, Harrison County 62, Bourbon County 37. You've been listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WC. All righty, back here at the Hilltop, let's take a look at the team stats. If Coach Brooks isn't coming this way, talking to Larry White right now. The conversation is short. We'll go ahead and talk to Terrence, and looks like that conversation is going to be short, so we'll see what Coach Brooks has to say about tonight's game.
That's what it's supposed to say.
Going to use headsets? All right. So wait on Terrence to get the headsets on, and we'll get a talk to him here. Kind of drag it up a little bit. But, Coach, a good win. I realize that Bourbon County was shorthanded, but still went out there and got the job done.
Yeah, it was a good win for us. We've struggled this week. We talked earlier about going over to Clark County and laying an egg, and last night just making some mental mistakes and not win that game. But we need to win bad going into this Christmas break. And,
yes,
we'll take tomorrow off and get back in here Monday, and we had 10 days to prepare for the Henry County tournament. So much needed win tonight, but also a much needed break tomorrow, giving them tomorrow off to get back in and get refocused and work on a lot of individual work. I think that's our biggest area right now is we got to get better individually. I think we're trying to execute what we want to do offensively and defensively, but we're missing absolutely too many layups and easy shots, wide open shots.
Tonight we only shoot 37% against a team that is so much smaller than we are. We should have hit about 60%.
Well, I knew, they were shorthanded. I knew they would come out and probably play zone. And so, when you play zone, we get to standing around. And we wanted to move the ball quick and still get the ball inside. And, we haven't faced a team that's played zone against us all year long. Today was an opportunity to work on our zone offenses. We had an opportunity to play a lot more kids today.
Right.
And we shot the ball well on the perimeter. Mason shot the ball well. Cliffy shot the ball well. Braylon struggled early, but then he knocked down some shots and got himself to the free throw line. That's one thing I try to tell him is when your shot's not falling, you got to do something else and get to the free throw line. So he did that. But we just got to get better defensively. That's my main focus is be a better defensive team.
I love the way that we move the ball tonight, especially inside the arc. Sometimes it'd be 5 passes, but many times it would end up with the guy right underneath the block or right at the block underneath the basket for an easy shot.
It did a lot. Also, we do a lot of we pass faked a lot of times when we had people skip pass wide open and reversing the ball quick. So, again, nobody's really – we played 8 games and nobody's really played us in zone, and especially that much. I mean, they played zone pretty much the whole game, and we got impatient. Against the zone, we want to try to still go one-on-one instead of moving the ball. But we got the ball to our short corner person looking for our dive man, and JD threw Will a nice alley-oop right in front of the rim, and he finished that. And a lot of his confidence, Blaine and Will missed some easy shots, and they get down on themselves when they miss shots. And, they just have to keep playing, and that's what we asked them to do. And I think they got frustrated tonight because they were in help position and on defense and picked up some cheap fouls. And but with their big bodies, that's what we want them to do. Right. Not let the ball come inside.
J.D. Kendall, a double-double tonight, 13 points and 10 rebounds, and just so active tonight underneath the boards.
He was, and those stats surprised me because I stayed on him because he missed a couple of opportunities to get more offensive rebounds. And, but at the start of the game, he got an offensive rebound, put back, and that's what we want him to do. I mean, he's a big kid, too. He's got a nice-sized body, and he can absorb that contact. And so, again, we've got to get in here. I mean, we don't know what to expect at this Henry County tournament. We've got to get in here and work on our zone offense against the zone and get ourselves in position to get those offensive rebounds when teams play us that way.
With Blaine and Will getting in foul trouble, that allowed Garrett Wilson to get on the floor more. And like Garrett does, 9 rebounds tonight. I mean, he does it almost effortlessly.
Garrett plays with a lot of energy. We like to go small. You hate to have Blaine and Will both sitting on the bench, but sometimes we have to go small, and it makes us a lot quicker. And, Garrett has a nose for the ball.
Sure does.
He doesn't fear going in there and getting a little contact, and that's what we want him to do. We want him to bring that energy and play with energy. especially on the defensive end. You know, he anticipates well.
Sure does.
Get out in the passing lane and get himself some easy opportunities.
Yeah. Well, it was good to, you hate to have Clay injured, obviously, but it's good to see that our team can get out there and get the job done even without one of their leaders.
Yeah. Again, Clay went down last night, and you don't want to see anybody get hurt, but Mason played well last night, deserved to start tonight. Probably if Clay wasn't hurt, Mason probably would have still started tonight because we were impressed with how hard he played last night. So, we'll rehab Clay and try to get him back before this tournament in Henry County. But Mason has shot the ball well all year long. It's his defense that we wanted him to step up.
Sure.
And again, last night he showed that he can get in those big games and play good defense. We want him to be physical. Mm-hmm. And I tell him all the time, in the JV game, he can't afford to get in foul trouble. In the varsity game, I don't mind him getting in foul trouble because he's playing the way we want him to play.
Sure. Well, just a good win, as you said, much better than a loss going into this long break, but maybe the kids will have a little more energy coming back knowing that they've got a chance to make some noise at this Henry County tournament, which has a lot of good teams in it.
Yeah, and again, we called this Hell Week. We had Clark County, Henry Clay, and then at Bourbon tonight, and this is the roughest part of our schedule. So, we had talked to them about now we've got 4 losses. Let's concentrate on stringing some wins together and playing with a lot more confidence and playing together.
All right, congratulations on the win, Coach, and Merry Christmas, and we'll see you down in Henry County.
All right, thank you.
Head Thoroughbred basketball coach Terrence Brooks after Harrison County's 62-37 win over the Bourbon County Colonels here tonight. We'll take our final break, come back and look at the team stats and name our Judy Construction Company player of the game. You've been listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on
Dealing with the real world wasn't easy, even before the whole global pandemic thing. Trying to pay the bills, worrying about family, or just trying to figure out what you want to be. The good news? Maysville Community and Technical College is open and ready, with on-campus and online programs that can lead to essential careers in IT, healthcare, and more, all at less than half the cost of a 4-year university. So never put your dreams on hold, and never underestimate you.
Top, let's take a look at the numbers of the game. Harrison County shot much better in the second half after hitting only 26.7% in the first half, made 14 of 29 shots in the second half. So for the game, 22 out of 59 for 37.3%. However, we attempted 24 threes tonight, which is a lot for our team, and made only 4. Meanwhile, Bourbon County, who struggled in the first half offensively, continued those struggles throughout the rest of the game as well, hitting only 10 out of 38 shots for 26.3%. They were 4 for 11 from beyond long range. The Thoroughbreds, one thing Coach Brooks and a bunch of the staff have to teach our guys is free throw shooting during this week and a half off. Breds were 14 out of 24. That's only 58.3%. Meanwhile, the Colonels were 13 out of 19 for 68.4%. Turnovers, only 9 for the Thoroughbreds, which I think is pretty good. Bourbon County, meanwhile, 13 rebounds throughout the game. And as we mentioned before, just a dominance on the inside, rebounding by Harrison County as we win that battle 46-18. 22 offensive rebounds, which is very, very good. Of course, with our size advantage, that should have been the way. We were led in rebounding by J.D. Kendall, who had that double-double we talked about before with 10 rebounds to go along with his 13 points, but also want to mention Garrett Wilson's 9 rebounds. Meanwhile, just 1 offensive and 18 defensive rebounds for the Colonels. They were paced by Caden Highlander. The freshman getting the start tonight came down with 7 rebounds. So there are your numbers for the game. Our Judy Construction Company player of the game, we're going to give it to J.D. Kendall. His double-double tonight, 13 points, 10 rebounds, and an assist. So congratulations to J.D. as he is our Judy Construction Company player of the game. So we mentioned Harrison County's next game will be at the Henry County Invitational, which will be a week from Tuesday. The Breds will start out play in that particular tournament against Iroquois out of Louisville. That game will begin at 5 o'clock. Now, our next broadcast will be a couple of games for the Phillies this coming week as they finish out their pre-Christmas schedule. On Monday, we'll head to Fort Mitchell, where the Phillies will take on the Lady Tigers of Beechwood. And then we'll take a trip to Taylor Mill on Wednesday, where the Phillies will take on the Lady Eagles of Scott High School. So still a couple of tough games left for the Phillies before they get to take their Christmas break. I want to thank my engineer back at the station, Mike Davis, who always does a great job. And as always, I want to thank all of our sponsors, because without their help, we would not be able to get Harrison County High School basketball on the air. So from the hilltop at the Huck Turner Classic, your final score for the final time, Harrison County 62, Bourbon County 37.